Q25. Solve the simultaneous equations. X squared plus y squared equals 9 and x plus y equals 2. It says give your answers correct to 2 decimal places. So I'm already quite suspicious about this question. I think we're going to have our hands full. It's a 6-mark question. It's a simultaneous equation, and it's saying that our answers should be given to 2 decimal places. So this is going to be a pretty tricky problem. I think we're going to need more space here, so I'm just going to divide the page in two, and let's start on the left hand side. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to label the equations. I'm going to call that equation 1, and let's call that equation 2. Now we can't eliminate because one of them has x squareds in it and y squares and the other one doesn't. In fact, the top one, equation 1 there, is actually a circle. It's a circle with a radius of 3. The second one underneath is a straight line. So what I'm going to have to do to solve these is I'm going to have to substitute the line into the circle. So I'm going to sub equation 2 into equation 1. But before I do that, I'm going to just manipulate equation 1 a little bit, or equation 2 should I say. So equation 2 I'm going to rewrite as x equals 2 minus y. So I'm taking y off both sides. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub equation 2 into equation 1. So let's see what happens here. Wherever I have an x, I'm going to replace that with 2 minus y. So instead of x squared, I'm going to have 2 minus y squared. I need to add y squared to it, and that's equal to 9. So this is equation 1 now, written with 2 minus y replacing the x. So I need to expand out 2 minus y. So we're going to get 2 minus y. In fact, let's write it out using 2 brackets. 2 minus y squared is 2 minus y times 2 minus y. I need to add the y squared to it, and it's going to equal 9. Expanding this, we're going to get 4 minus 2y plus y squared, and then we've got this y squared still, so keep that, adding that on, and it's still equal to 9. Tidying up, we get, I like to write it in descending powers, so I'm going to write it as 2y squared. Negative 2y and negative 2y combined is going to give me negative 4y. I've got the 4 here, and I'm going to take 9 away from it. So we're going to get subtract 5, because I'm taking 9 off both sides, and it's equal to 0. So now we've got a quadratic. So can we factorize this quadratic? Let me think. I'm going to say straight away, no, we're not going to be able to factorize this. And the reason I know this, I'm fairly certain of this, is because it's asked for an answer to 2 decimal places. So what we're going to need to do here is to use the quadratic formula. So A is going to be equal to 2, B is going to equal negative 4, and C is going to equal negative 5. So let's come over here. We might even need more room. So the quadratic formula states that x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. It's actually on the front of your paper. We're not dealing with x in this case. We're just going to change it to y. So y is going to equal negative b, so negative 4, because b is negative 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, negative 4 to b squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 5. Close off the brackets, and don't forget it's all over 2a, all over 2 lots of a, which is 2. Now, let's just tidy up a wee bit before we move on. Negative 4 is positive 4, plus or minus, and we're going to do the square root of, let's see, we can actually get the calculator to do this bit. Let me just highlight what I'm going to do in the calculator, save myself a bit of hassle. Some calculators will actually do the formula for you, but we're not going to do that. So I'm going to do negative 4 squared minus 4 lots of 2 times -5. So I just want to make sure I get that absolutely right. That's going to work out to be 56. So it's going to be over root 56 here over not 2. Whoops, it should be a 4. So let's break that apart now. So we're going to have two problems. We're going to have to work out y could be either equal to the 4 plus or minus, or not plus or minus, y 4 plus root 56 over 4, or it could be 4 minus root 56 over 4. So let's see how that works out. Taking out the calculator, let that do most of the work. Dealing with a fraction, 4 plus square root 56 all over 4. That's going to work out to be, let's go 2 decimal places here, 2.87. So 2.87, and I need to work out the other possible solution. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to change that plus to a minus, and that works out to be minus 0.87 to 2 decimal places, minus 0.87. So we've got our two values of y, 2.87 and minus 0.87. And finally, what we're going to have to do is actually work out the values of x. Now, we have a choice of equations here, equation 1 or equation 2, but you'd be absolutely mad to use equation 1 because equation 2 is far more easy to use. So let's deal with equation 2 here. We know that if x plus y equals 2, in fact, we've already rearranged it, haven't we? We know that x equals 2 minus y, so one of the values of x is going to equal 2 minus, now let's use this value of y here, 2.87, 2.87, which is going to give me minus 0.87 or negative 0.87. Let's write that in there. And the other possible value, really running out of space here, could be 2 minus negative 0.87. Two negatives become a positive in this case, so we're going to get a value of 2.87. And that should get us all 6 marks.